There came a day when I was a young mother when I found my middle child. She was, that child. I found her on the neighbor's roof. She was only 2 years old, and I will never forget all my emotions as I tried to get her off the roof without scaring her off the roof. And those emotions included a certain amount of terror, a certain amount of fury, and a certain amount of awareness that she and I weren't actually alone up there on that roof. Well, I've come to see that sense that she and I weren't alone up on that roof was God's gift to the mothers of that kind of child, because I myself had been one of them. When I was a kid, I hated math, which was a little bit of a problem because my father, the chemist, thought math was the queen of the sciences, and I, of course, was supposed to become a scientist. I got me a cello. And all the hours I spent in the practice room did not do my social life any good, but they did mean that I was accepted into the Aspen Music Festival's student program the summer between my junior and senior year of high school. A lot of people think of Aspen, Colorado as the playground of the rich and semi-famous. Boy, I thought it was paradise. I'd found my people, practice room people. I had a social life. And I met a guy. His name was Tim, and he wasn't a student. I met him at the laundromat, and he was the town dog catcher.
Oh, good place to meet a man.
He was the town dog catcher. And he invited me to join his jug band. And then I had a double life. Every day I'd go to orchestra rehearsal, I'd go to string quartet, I would go to my private lesson, I would take the theory classes. But when the practice rooms closed, I changed into the long black formal concert skirt that my mother had made for me and a vivid orange, low-cut, deeply ruffled top that Tim had bought for me, and went off to play washtub bass in the dive bars of Aspen. Now, on my debut night as the washtub bass player in dive bars of Aspen, well, the washtub bass I was supposed to play was way too big for me. Most people can just put one foot on one side of the washtub to hold it down while they hold the broomstick and pluck at the cotton cord that makes the string to make boom, 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 boom. I had to balance myself, both feet on the far edges of the washtub so I wouldn't ruin the tone of the instrument and play like that. And halfway through my first set, I fell off. This entertained the bar patrons so much that our tip jar overflowed. So Tim and I worked out some choreography that allowed me to fall off regularly in a great flutter of skirts, petticoats, and girlish legs without doing irrevocable damage to either my modesty or my rear end. It was a wonderful summer. When my mother drove up from New Mexico to collect me at the end of the summer, she came to a concert of the student orchestra, she talked to my teacher, she toured the campus, and of course, I made sure she knew that I wanted her to come to my farewell performance with the Piltdown Philharmonic in the Red Onion in Aspen. And so Mom sat in the bar at the Red Onion. She knew the Red Onion well because she and my dad skied there in Aspen every winter. She sat in the bar at the Red Onion, drinking a beer that Tim had bought her, and watched her barely 17-year-old daughter falling off a washtub bass for tips. Next day, we packed up and drove south. The first half of the trip, I was quite quiet because I was trying to figure out how on earth I was going to survive my senior year of high school after such a wonderful summer. And Mom didn't have anything to say until we were well over halfway home, crossed the state line back into New Mexico. And finally, she said, "Harriet, when I sent you to Aspen, I knew you would undoubtedly meet some of the local characters." And I thought to myself, yeah, I know. And I stayed away from Charlie the Lecher, who owns the Boomerang, just like he told me to. She said, "But, Harriet, I did not expect you to become one of the local characters." And I looked at Mom very carefully and finally saw that little twitch at the corner of her mouth. The twitch that meant that she knew I was not going to become a scientist, and that was okay. The twitch that meant that she knew that I probably was not going to spend my whole life in a practice room, and that was okay too. And the twitch that she knew that I'd never be on a roof all by myself.